So, good morning, everyone. Uh, in last class, we have seen this is demo one. In demo one, we have seen these many concepts, right? What is front end? What is back end? What is the history of Python? Then the versions of Python, from where Python has inspired from, right? And also, uh, in the second demo, we have seen three features, right? And they are not three, it was four, I guess, right? So first was simple. Why Python is simple? Why Python is simple? Yes, Yasin Sheikh, uh, Radhashri.
Yes,
Why Python
Pratyush.
is Why Python is simple?
Uh, Python is simple, I think, because of its inbuilt garbage collector.
Fine. Anything more?
As we do have other two,
Fine. So first of all, am I audible to you, Radhashri? Radhashri. I guess you also have the access to unmute yourself. Okay, fine. So simple because of three factors, right? Because of three factors. One is what? Rich set of API, right? It has rich set of API. API is nothing but API is nothing but
collection of modules.
collection of module, right? And what is module?
Module is a collection of variables, functions, and
Classes.
objects,
Classes,
classes. Yeah.
right? Yeah, fine, great. Next is second one. That is nothing but it has inbuilt garbage collector, right? It has inbuilt garbage collector means it will collect unused memory. This garbage collector is nothing but which collects unused memory, right? And if we see third point is nothing but easy syntax. Easy syntax, right? Yesterday we have seen how rich set of API Python has, right? With the help of this, let me give you one more example. That is nothing but let's suppose we are using random, right? Random is one of the module, and we are importing this random, right, as rn. Whenever I'm writing as rn, that is nothing but we are giving alias name, right? What is alias name? It is kind of a nickname. Everyone is having their alias name, nickname, right? Pappu, Sonu, Tonu, Monu, likewise anything you can give, right? So here what we are giving, random is a module, and we are giving just nickname for it, right? With the help of this rn, we are going to implement each and everything, right? So what we can do, rn dot rand int, it is nothing but random integer I want, right? Of, let's suppose, 0, or let's suppose just I'm giving rand int, so sorry, 10 and 20. It is giving 70, 17, right? In between 10 to 20, it is giving one random integer, right? It is giving what? Random integer. Likewise, can we do the same for OTPs? OTP does what? It gives random 4 digits, right? 4 or 6 digits, right? Here also, random does what? It is also giving the same random integer in between some range, right? Let's suppose I'm writing from 1 to 20, right? What if I write from 0000, or let's suppose not from 00, let's suppose from 1000 to 9999, right? It is giving, every time when you execute this, it will give random integer. It is giving every time, what it is giving? Random integer. Do we need to write a longer code? No, we are not writing any longer code here. Just with the help of this module, what we are doing, we are accessing this rand int method, and what it does, it gives random integer in some range. Here the range is starting from 1000 to 999, sorry, 4999, right? 4 times 9 it is, right? Every time whenever you try to execute this, it will give some random integer. That is how we can generate what? OTP. Fine. if you want to if you want like this OTP, you can store it in one OTP, right? And you can print off your OTP is nothing but what it is? OTP, right? We are storing this value into OTP, inside OTP, right? When we write like this, your OTP is this, right? This is how you can generate your OTP. Fine. That's why it is known as rich set of APIs. Python has rich set of APIs. Second, we have seen it has inbuilt garbage collector, which collects unused memory. Whichever the unused memory we have in our program, it will collect that unused memory. Next is it has easy syntax, right? It has easy syntax, easy to run, easy to write, easy to learn it, easy to read it, right? That's why Python is really easy language. No need of any CS background, no need of any IT background, no need of any technical background, right? If you are a fresher, if you are new to it, you can easily learn Python, right? No need of C programming, no need to learn C++, no need to learn Java. Fine. But for Java, we have to know about C and C++, right? But in this case, we do not need to worry about what is C, what is C++, what is Java. Got it? Simple it is. Next, we have seen, what was this? That next one. What was the,
It is open,
yeah, open source, freeware
freeware and open source. Yeah.
and open source, right? Freeware and open source. Freeware means we can easily download it, and also open source is nothing but it is open to any platform. It is open to any operating system. In any operating system we can use this, right? The source are open. Every module can be used in Windows as well as Mac as well as Linux, right? There is no dependency of operating system for an object, right? If we are creating object, any kind of object, let's suppose integer. If I'm using integer, then same integer I can use in Mac OS, same integer I can use in Linux, right? So this is how we can say Python is freeware, which is free to download, no need to give any charges, and also the source are open to every platform, means it is open source. Next, what we have seen, third point,
It is platform independent.
platform independent. Platform independent, right? What does it mean? Platform independent. Yogesh,
We can run it on um, any operating system.
we can run,
We can run Python on any operating system.
and in any operating system we can use the Python, right? It could be any platform, but the source, the whatever we are writing will be same, right? No need to modify or no need to change anything. If we are writing any code in Windows operating system, same code can be run in other operating system also. Fine, got it. Last one we have seen was what it was. Python is known as, and Python is known as dynamically typed language. What does it mean? We have two types of languages. One is static. One is static typed language. Sorry. Is it visible now? Yeah. One is static type, and the another one is dynamically typed. Right? Dynamically typed. What does it mean? What is static typed language and dynamically typed language? In static typed, we have seen in a static type, we have seen that we have to declare the data type before initializing the variable, right? For example, in this Python, if I am writing num is equals to 10, we are not declaring any kind of integer or any kind of data type. We are not declaring any kind of data type here, right? But in other programming languages, if we are writing any kind of num is equals to 10, then we have to give the acknowledgement to the compiler or whatever the PVM or compiler for C++. We have to give the acknowledgement that we are going to use what type of data. In this case, what we are using, the integer type of data. That's why we are using int here. Int is nothing but integer. When we write another, when we try to write any other data type, 10.6, that is what float. Then we have to give float here. This is, we are talking about C, C++, or Java, right? Or C sharp also, C sharp also, right? C sharp also. Here we have to declare the data types. Got it? Simple it is. But in Python, we do not need to worry about this. Sorry, right? If we write num, it will give 10. And if we check type of num, it is nothing but integer. We haven't given anything, right? Same in this case, if we write like this, right? Now let me give this num1. Okay, then now it is 10. Type of num is integer, and type of num1 is, first of all we'll print num1. Num1 is what? 10.6, right? Now we'll type of num1. That is nothing but float. We haven't given any acknowledgement to the compiler, right? Simple it is. So we have seen till now, we have seen four features of Python, right? We have seen four features of Python, that is simple, freeware and open source, platform independent, and dynamically typed language. Now the thing is, what is interpreted programming language? Python is interpreted programming language, right? When it comes to Python, Python is interpreted programming language. What it is? Interpreted programming language. Other programming language like C, C++, it is compiler based programming language, right? Compiler based programming language. Whereas Java is both interpreted and compiler based, right? And Python is also interpreted programming language. What does it mean? What does it mean? Interpreted programming is nothing but our PVM, which is nothing but Python virtual machine, right? PVM will read line by line of code, right? Will read line by line of code. Let me give you one example, simple example, right? Let's suppose I have something a is equals to 10 and b is equals to, or let's take something else. Okay, fine. We'll see this. A is equals to 20, b is equals to 30, right? And here we are going to add two numbers, a plus b. Okay, but we are going to print d. Is there any d here? Is there any d here? No. Also, print of e. Is there any e here? Print of c. C is there, right? But you see, what should be the answer? What should be the output for this? If you write it like this, Yasin, are you there?
Yes, Pratyush.
Yeah. So what should it?
Maybe it should be
Sorry,
because we don't have D and D, so if it is go line by line, it should give error, right?
it will give error, right?
Error.
But you see now, for this we are getting error for only one line, which is this one, right? We are not getting error for this. It is showing the arrow for line number sixth, right? It is not showing arrow for line number 8. It is showing error for this one, right? So it is reading line by line. Interpretation process is nothing but reading the code line by line. It reads this first, then this, then this one, and once it comes to this, it checks whether this variable is existed or not. If it is existing, then it won't give any error. But in this case, there is no D. That's why it is saying, right, name D is not defined. Means there is no D available, right? And in this case, same, if we go for, if we remove this, then it will come to this one. Fine. So it is reading line by line of code. It is reading line by line of code. Once it get eliminated, or we can say we have taken an comment, right? We have taken into this into comment. Now we are getting the output 50. It is 20 plus 30, it is 50. But in case of another languages like C++, other languages, C++, Java also, it is a compiler based language. What does it mean? At a time it will give whole error, right? At a time it will give whole error. Okay, let's suppose, I have this many line of code, right? And in this we are getting error, we are getting error in this, in this, in this, and in this, right? When it comes to compiler based language, it will give whole error, total error at one time. You have these many four errors, you have to check it out. Fine. But when it comes to interpreted language, first interpretation means pvm checks this line, right? Then pvm checks this line, then it comes to the error part. When any error, if any error is there, then it will show in the output that you have one error, you have to solve this error, right? Once it gets solved, then it will come to this line, it will read this line, then again it will read this error line, again you have to solve this. Likewise, it will do one by one of operation, one by one of reading the line. It reads line by line of code. That is nothing but interpretation process. Okay, it converts the source code. Source code is nothing but what we are writing. Source code is nothing but what we are writing here. See, this is what? A source code. And this only can be understandable by human. Once we execute this, it will convert this whole code into byte code. It will convert whole code into byte code. Byte code is nothing but 0 and 1. Okay, that is only can be understandable by the machine. Only can be understandable by the machine, right? We cannot understand this. Fine. That is nothing but it converts the process of conversion source code into byte code, and again byte code into human understandable. That is nothing but interpretation process. Compilation you can also call it as. But in the difference between compilation and interpretation is nothing but compilation, it reads whole code at a time, but in interpretation, it line by line it will read. Getting my point, Yasin? Yes. And also, let me check. Radhashri. Radhashri, are you there? You can. You can reply. The chat box you can reply, right? Fine. Okay. So this is what interpretation process. Let's see what it is. Great. So now, when developing a, not an issue, when developing a Python program, it is imperative to name the file like extension as .py. So whenever we are writing any file in Python, the extension should be .py, right? .py is the extension. When it comes to C or C++, the extension is CPP, right? For Java, it is Java. But in Python, it is .py. Every time, whenever you are writing any program, whenever you are using any kind of PyCharm or there you have to save the file. Before running it, you have to save it, right? And for saving the file, you have to give the name. The extension should be .py. Okay, the name could be anything, that depends on you, but the extension should be .py every time, right? And also, when you execute any program, it will convert your code, that is, the extension is .py. It will convert that .py file into .pyc file. That is nothing but Python compilation, pyc, right? So it converts that. Pyc is nothing but the byte code. We cannot understand that, right? So that file will get converted into what? Compilation file. That is nothing but .pyc. Again, that will convert it into output, human understandable output, right? So the process is, upon execution of a Python program, two internal process occurs, right? That is nothing but compilation process and execution process. Compilation process does what? It converts the byte code, source code into byte code, and execution process is nothing but which executes, convert byte code into human language output, right? So this is nothing but during the compilation process, the Python source code is submitted to Python compiler, right? Python compiler. The compiler reads the source code. It reads the source code, checks for error by verifying syntax. It checks also one more work for compiler or compilation processes, to check errors, right? It checks the error. The compiler reads the source code, checks for error by verifying syntax, and if no error are found, it converts the code into intermediate byte code. Intermediate byte code, that is nothing but zeros and ones, right? Known as byte code with an extension of .pyc. Getting my point? File, now this file has been converted into .pyc file. If error are detected in the source code, they are displayed on the console. Console is nothing but where we are going to get the outputs, right? In the execution process, the Python virtual machine PVM reads the Python bytecode line by line, right? It reads line by line of code and converts it into machine understandable code, also known as executable or binary code. Getting my point? It is easy to understand. Yasin, Radhashri, any doubt is there? Fine, right? Okay. This code then interpreted by operating system and processor, ultimately yielding the desired result. Means it is giving the desired results, right? Hence, in Python program execution, both compilation process and execution process occur line by line. It won't read whole program. It occurs what? Line by line of. Compilation also, it will read line by line of code. If any error is there, then it will give the error, right? This is what the process of interpretation, right? In pictorial representation, we can see once we write any source code, what it is? exe.pyc, that is an example.pyc. If we have written any code in exe.pyc, that is nothing but a source code. Once we write the source code and once we try to execute it, it will go to Python compiler. Focus, it will give the source code comes to Python compiler. Compiler does what? It checks for errors. If any error is there, then it will show the error, or else it will give it to intermediate code. Means it will convert this source code into intermediate code. That is nothing but byte code, right? That is nothing but exe.pyc. Now the exe.py has converted into .pyc file, right? After this, both execution process and compilation process reads line by line of code. That is nothing but interpretation based programming language. This whole process is nothing but interpretation based programming language, right? After this, once it get converted into pyc file, again it will convert the whole file into, means it will convert the output into what? Human understandable code, right? And the work, this whole process comes under pvm only. Pvm reads line by line of byte code and this byte code, right? So pvm does what? Pvm reads line by line of bytes code, mean this one. Pvm reads line by line of bytes code, zeros and one, right? And convert it into machine understandable code, again it into binary code, means for processor and os. And after that, once this processor and os reads it, then it will give final output. Getting my point? Easy to understand it is, right? This is what interpretation process means. See, it is simple. Conversion of source code into byte code. Again, byte code into, we can also call it as byte code into binary code, means zeros and ones. And again, byte code is something which only, what I can say, machine can understand. Zeros and ones are also like the same, right? And after that, it converts it into human language, means the output, desired output. Fine. This is nothing but interpretation process. Now now let's see what is high level programming language, right? Also, now we have seen fifth one is interpretation interpretation programming language, right? Next is sixth one, that is nothing but high level programming language. Why it is called high level programming language? So, in general, we have two types of programming language, which is low level and high level. One more is there called middle level language. So C++ comes under middle level language, where low level is also there and high level is also there, right? So we have two types of programming language: low level and high level. What is low level? Low level is nothing but, in this programming language, we represent the data in lower level data like binary, octal, hexadecimal, likewise. What is binary? What is octal? What is hexadecimal? These are number system. Decimal, binary, octal, hexa. These are what? Number systems. We'll see how we can convert the decimal into decimal into binary, or decimal into octal, or anything, right? We'll see. But as of now, we are in high level language. We are in low level language, so we have to know what is low level language, right? This type of data is not by default understandable by programmer and end users. So what we are doing in this, we are converting these many terms into human understandable things, right? zeros and ones Zeros and ones, which is nothing but binary data. If we write anything like this, we have to convert it, right? For an example, I'll give one example, right? A is equals to 0b 1011. What it is giving? The answer for 0b11, let me remove this so you'll get an idea. Okay. So what is the answer for this? Because we are using binary. We are using what? Binary of 1011. If you check the table, 1011 belongs to 11. That is simple. How you can calculate this? This is simple. Let me show you how you can calculate. For this, if you go, see, if you go 1, 1, 0, 1 and 1, right? 1, 0, 1, 1. Simply what you have to do, because we are working with binary, and the binary base is nothing but 2. Binary base is what? 2. Every time binary base is what? 2 only. So what you have to do, for each and every bits, for each and every bits, what you have to do, you have to write it like this: 2 power of, from starting from right hand side, right? Starting from right hand side, for each and every bit, 2 power of 0. You will start it like this: multiply with, multiply with this one, right? So this is 1, plus, plus, for this bit we have completed for first bit. For this bit, what it is, 2 to 2 power of 1 will increase this, right? 2 power of 1 multiply with this bit, which is nothing but 1. Again, next, plus, for this it is 0. 0 means anything if we multiply with 0, 0 it is. So can we write it like this: 0, right? Plus, for this bit 2 power of 3. Once you calculate this, 2 power of 0 is 1. 1 multiply with 1, 1 it is. Okay. 1 plus 2, it will give 2, right? 1 plus 2, which is 3. And 2 power of 3, 8. 8 plus 3, 11. It is giving 11. This is how we can calculate this. Getting my point, Yasin? Yasin and Radhashri, you also. Understand the concept. It is really easy, right? Understood, Radhashri? You can also typecast any values, right? You can also typecast any value. How? Bin. That is nothing but binary. If you go for bin of 20, it will give the binary values. 0b. B is nothing but it represents binary. From this, it starts the binary value. 10100. That is the binary number of 20. If you go for hex of, let's suppose, 16, it is nothing but 0x10, right? For let's suppose decimal, no, any number is decimal only, right? We cannot convert. Any number is decimal. So what left? Octal. OCT. Octal of, let's suppose, 50. Octal of 50 is nothing but 62. Fine. Easy. So this is how you can convert. So what is low level? Low level works with binary or octal or hexadecimal, which we cannot understand easily, right? So for that, it converts the low level into human language, right? So what is high level? In this case, you can see OB of this octal. For octal, we are writing 0 O 23. For hexadecimal, we are writing 0 X and FACE. I'll show you. Later on, I'll show you how we can calculate for FACE. What will be the answer for FACE? Right? You can see here. I'll give the 0x. Okay, 0x FACE. It is giving what? 64206. 64206. I'll show you. We'll come to number system. Tomorrow we'll start the data representation. So there I'll explain you what is number system, right? Sure. Now, this is high level programming language. Low level means we are dealing with zeros and ones. We cannot understand it. So what it does, what programming does, it converts the human language into binary, low level language. Then again it converts it into high level, right? Now what is high level? As Python is high level, purely high level language it is. In these programming language, even we represent the data in lower level data like binary. Just what we have seen here, we are representing all the data in some number systems, right? Bin of 20, it is giving like this. Hexa of 16, it is giving like this. Octal of 50, it is giving this. And hexadecimal of FACE, it is giving the value like this. It is interpreted, right? It is giving the answer, it is giving the output, right? So what it is, even we are using this many concept, the high level programming languages automatically convert it into decimal number system, right? It converts it into decimal number system, which is understandable by programmers and end users. Getting my point? This is why the Python is known as high level language. Yasin, Radhashri, getting my point? Yes. Okay, fine. So this is nothing but high level language. Now let's come to robust, which is really important feature of Python. Python is also known as really strong language. Python is also an strong language that is also known as robust language. What do you mean by robust? Robust is nothing but strong, right? So why Python is strong? What makes Python is strong? So there is a term called exception handling, right? There is a term called exception handling. Let me give you an example. Right? A is equals to 10, B is equals to 20. Let me go for A. What it is giving? What it is giving? What kind of error it is? Zero division error. And what it is saying? Integer division or modulo by 0. We cannot divide any number by 0. Right? Again, it is giving 0. If we are writing A divided by B, it is giving 0. If we write A modulo B, it is giving 0. Sorry, error. Right? So this error is what? This error is known as exception. This error is nothing but exception. Right? What type of exception it is? Zero division error it is. Zero division error exception it is. And how we can do this? How we can solve this? Right? I'll write it here. Because this gives error. This gives error. So what we have to do? We have to use something called exception handling. We have to use what? Exception handling. Right? And simply what we have to do? Accept. Accept of zero division error. This is simple example I am giving you. And exception handling. This is a pure topic, right? This is a vast topic. We'll see. Lots of things are there, right? But what it does actually, I'll show you. This is use non-zero value. Please use non-zero value. If you see now my program is running. There is no error. It is not giving any error. Why? Why? Uh, Let me check. Okay, fine. Get on, we'll see. So it is not giving what? It is not giving error. Why it is not giving error? Because see, what we have written like 10 divided by 0. 10 divided by 0. Let's suppose you are a layman, you don't know anything about Python. You don't know anything about technical terms. You don't know anything technically, right? So what you will think that what is this error? What is this error? Why we are having this error? Why we are getting this error? And what is the meaning of this error? You would think like this, right? If you are a layman, you would definitely think like this, that what is the meaning of this zero division error? Why I am not getting the result? So for this, that is a human thinking, right? That is a human thinking. And this is what? A technical error that normal people cannot understand this. So to convert this technical error message into human friendly, human understandable message, that's what we are using exception handling. The purpose of exception handling is nothing but we convert the technical error message into human understandable message. So what we are doing here, it is giving one technical error message in this block of code. It is giving what? Technical error message, which is nothing but zero division error. As a layman, I cannot understand this. But if we put inside try block, and if we use except as please use none zero, no, sorry, please use non-zero value, right? Please use non-zero value, then it will give what? An error message, which can be understandable by normal people also, means laymen, those who don't know anything about technical. So that's what we are using exception handling to convert Yasin, Radhashri, Yogesh.
Yeah, to convert technical error message into human understandable message.
Fine, great, got it. Simple it is. That's why Python is known as what? Robust. It is a strong language. It makes Python really strong. Means at the runtime. Simple. I'm giving you one example, right? Let's suppose uh, you're visiting one ATM machine, right? You're going to extract or retrieve the money, okay, from the ATM, and you are entering wrongly. You are entering your card wrongly. Means ulta, right? You are inserting the ATM card wrongly, okay. The upper side will be in lower side. That is what ulta you are giving. So what it will give? It is an error. What kind of error? It is a runtime error. Means at the time of execution you are making some mistake. At the time of execution you are making what? Mistake. That is nothing but a runtime error. Getting my point? So in this case also, if you see, we have written the code, but at the time of running this, it is giving what? Exception, error, runtime error. It is giving runtime error. Let me show you one more thing. That is nothing but let me take one input, right? User input. How we can take user input? Int of input of enter the number. Enter the number. Here we are going to enter the number. Same here also. Copy, and I'll paste it here. Enter the number 1, and here I'll write enter the number 2. Here I'm taking input from the user, right? First of all, let me check one thing. I'll keep it without try and except block. I'll try to run it without try and except block, right? Oh, sorry. Uh, Let me restart the kernel. Fine. So now you see, in this line of code, we are having error. What kind of error we have? What type of error we have? We had here, right? The zero division error. We cannot divide zero, any value with zero. Let's suppose I am giving 10. Still my programming is running. It is in running state, right? Now I am giving the second value as 0. Still my programming is running, right? Now I am getting what? Error. This is what? This is known as runtime error, runtime exception. While running the program, we got the error. That is known as what? Runtime error, right? And it also says what? Python stand out as a robust programming language due to its provision of exception handling facility that handles the exception runtime error. Got it? So what is exception? At any runtime error encountered in term an exception, and typically such exception produce technical error message. Right? That technical error message is nothing but exception. And to handle that, that is nothing but the concept of exception handling. Right? Exception handling involves the process of converting these technical error message into what? User friendly error message. This approach is crucial for enhancing the robustness of real-time projects. Real-time project, it will enhance, right? It will enhance the robustness, means the strongness of the real-time project, right? Let's suppose, simple example I am giving you. Okay, one form you are filling, but in place of age, you are giving gender. In place of age, you are giving gender. That is what? Error, exception. At the runtime, it is you are giving one error. You are making mistakes, right? That error, what error? This could be logical error, right? Logical or runtime error. Okay, that is a runtime error. But don't you think that error is doesn't making any sense? Means in place of age, you are entering what? Gender. That is a runtime error. The application is running properly, but the user, those who are entering, they are making what? Mistake. That is known as runtime error. And at the time of running, we can resolve it. How? At the time of running this, we can resolve it. Now let's see, value 1 we are giving what? 10. Value 2 what we are giving? 0. But what if I'm writing 10 and 2? Now we are not making any mistake. We are entering, whatever we are entering is a right input only, right? If we execute this, it is giving what? 0. Why it is giving 0? Why it is giving 0? Because this is modulo. This is what? Modulo means it will give the reminder. If I execute this, then it will give what? 10 and 2. 5. This is the answer for this, right? So at runtime also, we can resolve whatever the mistake we are doing. Got it? Sure. In real-time project development, we rely on exception handling to ensure the resilience of our project. Totally, we are relying on this. Exception handling is really important in any software development. That makes our project or any software or any application more robust, right? More robust means, see, any application if we are creating, example, if an application you are creating, right, any application you consider, right, and if you are not giving any messages to the layman, those who are using, or the user, if you are not giving the proper message to the user, they cannot be able to understand what the error is, right? So at the place of age, if you are entering gender, you should say that you should enter only age, not any other thing, right? That is what a human understandable or user friendly error message. Got it? If you don't use that, exception handling, it will give what? Technical error message, just like what we have seen, zero division error. That is a technical error message, and user cannot understand this, right? So for that, to convert technical error message into user friendly error message, we have to use what? Exception handling. Getting my point? Easy it is. Yeah. Now, what is runtime? Runtime error occurs. What is runtime error, right? Runtime errors occur during the exception phase of programming. Sorry, execution phase. Just now we have seen, right? During the execution phase of that, we have seen while writing the inputs, while giving the inputs. Once we get the input, it gives the error, right? And are often the result of invalid input provided by the end user or the application user, right? Invalid input, that is nothing but in place of age, gender we are giving, that is invalid input, right? For instance, you can say ATM project. Let's suppose you are making an ATM project, and there the user is inserting the card incorrectly, the user entering an invalid pin, the amount they are providing, that is invalid or insufficient. That is also one case, right? So if you are entering at runtime means, see, runtime is simple. ATM project means ATM that already has been implemented. No need to write code for ATM, right? There is no need. Application is already installed in ATM. Only thing what we have to do is we have to keep our card inside, and we have to take the money out. Simple it is. That is only the runtime. What we are doing, that is comes under runtime, right? What we are inserting, what we are keeping it out, that is nothing but runtime. We are running the application, but at that time, okay, fine, Rajesh. At that time, if we are giving any wrong input, invalid input, that will give runtime error, runtime exception, right? You can see these are the examples. These are the examples, right? Getting my point? Simple it is. Uh, Yasin, last,
Yes, Prince.
yeah, last four features we are pending with, right? Tomorrow we'll complete this and we'll start the data representations, right? These are simple thing, but these are comes under interviews questions, right? What is the meaning of robustness of Python? Why we are calling it as simple? Why Python is simple? Why it is object oriented programming language? What is the meaning of object oriented? Why it is known as dynamically typed language? Why other programming language known as static type? What is platform independent? Right? These are what interviews question. When you are a fresher, they may ask these many questions also along with the programmings. Got it? So everything whatever we are going to see is important only. Got it? So today it is the last demo class, and if any inquiry you want, if you have any query, right, you can contact to this number. I have already given this number. If you have any kind of questions, any query, if you have, you can contact this number, and you can join as soon as possible so that we can continue our sessions. Fine. So nice to see you guys. Had a good session, and now we'll see what we can do tomorrow, right? For now, we'll see We have completed almost seven features. More four feature we are pending with. Okay, so we'll complete it tomorrow and start the good session tomorrow. Fine. So for now, bye bye. Take care. Any doubt if you have, you can ask me now.
Just one small doubt, Pratyush.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
whatever we are importing, whatever we are importing, right? Like today random, yesterday calendar.
Yeah,
So are
yeah,
they called modules?
yeah. They are modules. They are
Okay, okay,
modules
thank you.
because they have the collections of classes, variables, and functions. Inside that we have everything.
Sure, got it. Yeah, thank you.
See, I'll show you one thing. I'll show you, right? One thing I'll show you. Let's suppose for calendar module, right? If you see here, everything is there. Each and everything is there, right? General calendar related functions, right? This is the calendar module, right? This is the calendar module. If you go here, these are the functions what we have. These are the function what we have. Inside function we have few variables. These are the variables, you can say, right? So these many, if you see class calendar dot text calendar, these are what the classes. These are the methods. This many methods you have. These are the classes. A list of CSS classes. Getting my point? If you see this is what,
Yes.
this is what the class is. So this code, it is already existing. We do not need to write. We do not need to use, right? Only thing we have to use is what? We have to use the calendar module, as well as along with calendar module we have to use the class or the method. In this case, let me show you. In this case, we were using random, right? Here random is the module. And also, if you see, this rn means, this rn is nothing but the reference of the random we are using here. And this randint int is nothing but the method. Randint is nothing but the method, and these are nothing but the variables. These are the values we are going to store inside the variables, right? Let me show you one thing. If we are not writing like this, it is not showing, it is not showing. Show this. No, it is not coming out. So if you press shift and tab, it will show each and everything about the random. It will show what are the things, what are the parameters we can use here. And whatever we are using, like 1009, 4 times 9, these are comes under data. These are nothing but data, and these data are going to store inside a variable, right? So that's why a module is a collection of classes, methods, and variables. Okay, fine, it is simple. Chalo. Now we'll try to
Yes,
wind
Pratyush.
up
Yeah.
now. You have any question, Yogesh? No? Fine. Okay. So if you have any doubt, if you have any questions, you can contact this number, right? Thank you. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll see. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you. Thank you so much.